Okay, we are back. I do not know what was going on with OBS, uh, but we are back, and that is the important part. So again, you can see the bug that happens when you do not build it from the ground up. And one of the tricks that I have found, let's see if I can pull this off, hand drill to deconstruct. So let's deconstruct the elevator platform, and I was mistaken earlier. It is the drill, not the grinder that you use, which takes forever to do for some reason. And now let's go in and put. And now, as you can see, it is working. Is it coming up? Hard to see. Elevator is currently locked and cannot be interacted with. You know what? I'm impatient. We want a level. Head down to the bottom. Apparently they did nerf that, so. Alright, and that's why you want to build it from the ground up. You can build it elsewise, but you will want to come down, destroy it, and then go. It is a annoying quirk. At one point, I got it to reset just by deconstructing this platform, but I guess that trick no longer works. Alrighty. But yeah, elevators. When all possible, build it from the ground up. If you don't, you're going to have to dismantle platform, apparently deconstruct the last two pieces, and then reconstruct it, and that will sort it out. Alright. You're still draining all the pollutants out. You're collecting the pollutants. 1.2 liters of water that's trying to freeze, but the temperature is going up on that guy. It's almost got all the pollutant and all the nitrous out, as well as almost all the water. All right. And this is why, at a certain point, I do want to eventually, not in this playthrough, make a control hub where I will be able to see the numbers without having to go all the way down and look for them. Still not sure how the volatiles got in there. I'm guessing from the explosion event. All right. That is running. It is still trying to fill it with copper, and there is no copper to be had. Full silicone. Is silicone at least. All right. So back up, put this in our processing area. And then we will look into the whole gas sorting. Which, if we're doing gas sort, that's where they went. I wondered where those pipes went off to. All right. And I have these. I should have checked down there. In fact, let's go do that before I forget about it. And at some point, I need to get the components to hack the elevator again. That way the elevator works at a much higher speed. All right. All right. I did forget to add those. We have one extra. We're good. Okay, let's go back to level 5. This is where we're going to be putting the gas sorting. We got our oxygen going, which let's pop off our. There we go. We got a lot more oxygen, so we don't have to worry about it too much. It's still processing it. We have this tank, so that way we have a reservoir. And we still have plenty of oxygen to pull from these gases. We have our CO2 being processed. Yeah, it's got the limit. Which I'm going to go grab this and take it up to the greenhouse, which actually the hydroponics area, because it's technically not a greenhouse. And we'll see how things are working from there. All right. Alrighty. So, surprisingly, we still have pollutant in the room, as well as NOS, and a little bit of water. The filters are doing fine. Come back to the corners, because like airflow-wise, this is one of the worst spots. And we're down to the millimoles, which is one of the misconceptions I had. Why are you going up? Oh! I brought in a little bit of gas from when I entered here, because this isn't a advanced airlock, it's a standard airlock. But yeah, pollutant's still going down. NOS is going down. It's under 1%, which is the more important part. And we need to get a sheet of glass to put in here. Oh, that's right. We didn't do it because we don't have the proper... We do not have the proper gas sorting system set up yet. Because that got destroyed. Alright. Since gas storage is our top priority, we will go address. This is our waste tank, or our messy gas tank, I should say. Not enough pipes, but that's okay. If only we had pipes laying around somewhere. Does anyone see any pipes we can use? Alright. Alright. And then we're going to come to here, pop that one off, put it there. Alright. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let me address something over here real quick. Where's my... Okay. So we're able to watch it from here at least, and that looks like a lot higher oxygen than I remember it. Was there more oxygen? There's probably more oxygen in the pipe I just attached. Let's see. No, instead. There we go. All right. One more thing, and then we can deal with it. Okay. You gotta hate when you have to change passwords on things and you have to do 7 levels of confirmation because someone is trying to get into your account. All right. Think I addressed that problem. Now let's get back to the stream. All right. So we got CO2 being sorted out. Decent amount of CO2, I might add. We got the oxygen being sorted out. Are these pipes empty? No, they're not. All right. I can rebuild this pipe later on, because this is the pipe that leads to the H2 combustors room, which we will eventually get going again, but not anytime soon. But this is so that way we can steal the heat from the H2 combustor to heat up our furnace. All right. All right. Now let's start moving that gas over. And it looks like the base is almost back to vacuum. That should line up with the system. The pipe network is still contained, so we're not losing the gas, we're just slowly moving it. Ooh, so close, yet so far. Oh. And that should help empty out this pipe. Or we can help it along, because it turns out we're going to end up pushing more not oxygen into this pipe than we're able to pull out. If we just move the pipe along like we are right now, it won't matter too much. Okay. So we got our oxygen, our CO2, which probably is going to need to get moved at some point, because that is not a big enough tank for it. But we can bring this over here. All right. We have two systems for gases that we do not have storage for, plus nitrogen. And the big trick is, since I've connected this to up here, let's go see what's going on up here. We should have also made it where the water is going where it needs to be. Those filters are good. There's not that much water, which is probably why we're not seeing much movement. But okay. But it does appear the water is hooked up. Let's get us 3 insulated tanks so we can at least get the temporary gas storage up and running. Over here. We need copper and silicone. Okay. Here's the silicone. Not enough, but I'm also imagining we might not have... Oh, we have quite a bit of copper. And right here we have some silicone. You're empty, so let's throw you in and start processing the silicone. Let's increase that. There we go. That was a lot of gas to pump into the system all at once, so... Alright. 3, please. We have enough for 4, but we only want 3 right now.
Hunger caution.
And we're starting to get stinky again, sadly. Why that's going on? What's our trader situation look like? We will not have... Well, actually... We won't have those for you, so... Thank you for your business. Alright. Very slow interrogation, sadly, but we got the power to hold out. That's in fact why I have the 2 large batteries, is so that way we can brute force a contact. Hello, my friend. Looks like it's some lead that we can't quite reach. Remember to hydrate. I'm hydrating. Mm. 91, 92. And what? I don't have a memory chip, so let's see, what do we need for a memory chip? There's our copper. Excuse me. You want to go grill? Eventually, I will get that hangar's atmosphere wired up. I also need to make it where it mirrors so I can close it on the inside. Alright. Let's go get some atmosphere in here. I should also make this an advanced airlock so that way if I decide to go between while it's filling, I don't hurt myself. Which currently is a problem where, like, if I tried to go in here, the gas that it's slowly filling in, which granted isn't much, would go into here. This is just keeping the gas in here, but not the gas in here, in here. And it's an easy enough fix. I need to set it up. We're already at 4 kilopascals. Oops. This in down here anyway. Pick you up. But as you can see, we have a mostly oxygen atmosphere in here. So we need to get it to about 22 kilopascals of pressure before they're going to come out and play. I really should put up a no smoking sign in here since it is almost a pure oxygen atmosphere. And while you might go, well, they're all robots. Nope, this one is not a robotic trader. This is actually a human female trader. Who must be hiding down there. You don't see her now, but she's going to come out in a green suit and trade with us. And the amount of CO2 you're seeing is just from us breathing. Well, us and the traders. Alrighty. I would love to get into rockets, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to it in the next 3 weeks because this series has an endpoint, and that endpoint is in 2 more weeks. The 15th will be the last day of this series on the moon. I will be taking a break on the 22nd because that's when the wife and I will be celebrating Valentine's Day. And we actually doing an overnight trip because we can. So no stream on the 22nd. And then when we return, we'll be returning on Europa. The Europa, I'm still debating whether I want to do it as a human or a droid. Because a friend bought me the droid DLC for Christmas. Thank you, the last jelly bean. And Europa is cold, which survival on Europa as a human is not particularly hard. Because if the walls were not perfectly insulated, it would be a challenge. But because it is perfectly insulated, once you get your living quarters to atmosphere, it's not that hard to just keep everything warm. growing things and food, not that much of a challenge. The cold does affect batteries, and the robot lives on batteries. And I figure I might as well try, like, I want to use the droid at some point, and it's just a good excuse to play as the droid. So that's something to try out on Europa, where, if anything, the droid is the biggest disadvantage. One of the other things I will probably add to the Europa playthrough is a mod that expands the traders. Why it does open and provide more traders, my biggest reason for wanting to actually do it is I want to have multiple landing pads, and without the trader mod, you can only have one large slot, one medium slot, and that defeats the purpose of having 6 hangar bays. With the trader mod, you can have multiple large traders, which makes it more practical to have the multiple trading bays. All right, let's see if we can take. Is it enough to cause us problems, though? Like, yes, he's not happy with the current oxygen. But is it enough to cause a problem? I'm not losing consciousness. Yeah, my character's not happy, but he's also not losing health. And I think I'm also going to take this opportunity while we're ready to actually put on the stream, now that I know what we're doing, gas sorting. Okay. The stream name has been updated to gas sorting, which is what we will be doing. Come out and play! I have my helmet off. I'm doing okay. What's that? You haven't trained to be in low atmosphere like I have? Well, that's fair. So as soon as we're done with the trader, and we've, you know, that's going to be another. Yeah, it sucks. This room will technically lose some oxygen because I'm not going to stay for the full vacuuming of this room. That's going to take so much time. So some of the oxygen will transfer from here through this door here. Had I been smarter, I would have also shut this door. Because then that's one less cell to pressurize. But this room's already 49 times 6. One extra cell's not that huge of a difference. Nope, right when I get impatient. Actually, I'm going to need that death. Alright. Nope, you buy what I want. You buy what I want to buy, and you sell. I mean, how much for the 200 cable coils? We're buying time there. Alright. Let's head to the hydroponics area to empty our waste tank. Alright. Waste tank emptied. How are you looking in here? Still got enough bad stuff that I'm going to leave it run. Did I shut that off? I don't remember. Yes, I did. Alright. I just remembered what we have on us. And one might go, but Trooper, you don't have enough cable. Well, the cables are off in the vending machine, so. Alright, let's go get those cable coils. It's heavy cables. There's the regular cables. Alright. So we will need these because we're going to need to cut into the power. Alright, so that's everything in. We had to deal with the weird hitbox bit, so we couldn't put any cables there. And 20 isn't that high, so here. No, not negative. We want positive 20. Oh, that's why it's not working. Abled elevator. Elevator speed. Power you up. Power you up. Power you down. Power you down. And there we go. And now we have a very quick elevator. Alright, we're going to put this tank, which of course doesn't want to go where I want it to be. Alright. For now, we'll just line them up here. Cable coil. Actually, put you there. Put you there. Just to get you out of my way. Wrench.
Hydration critical.
Not that critical. Pretty bugs.
Hunger critical.
No, no, wrong one. There we go. Cable coil and screwdriver. Alright. Let's go get some nitrogen filters. Two nitrogen filters coming up. But you know, we did want level 5. It's wild how fast the elevator goes once we get it up to speed. Oh, you want power? I guess we can give you power. Let's set this up right or completely wrong. Okay, no. I did set it up right. So you're pulling the nitrogen. Alrighty, let's go take apart this one. Wait, pipes first, then cables. Alright, and let's go get some NOS filters. Or actually, no, let's go get volatile filters. Actually, there we go. Alrighty, and that one's going in there. Alright, so it's still primarily CO2, which in a way is good because we need it for our greenhouse. And I should just put that guy in there. Alright. Speaking of the hydroponics zone, let's go get some food and water because I don't have any on me. And that should add more CO2 to our... and add more pressure. Looks like we finished off the french fries. Waking up. Eat. Drink. And be merry. Let us air out a bit. So, we are starting to get the gas sorting. It's not a permanent thing at the moment. Oh, that was my knee. But we are getting a primitive gas sorting system. I don't feel horribly about making the temporary tanks because those will eventually, why they will get moved, get used to make the non-filter gas system, gas sorting system. I do not remember where this past event is from or what it was for. Well, we will eventually use it. Go away, hygiene issues. I need to make a locker for this room. In fact, I will even say, forget the hygiene, and let's get that locker made. You know what? I'm curious. Emergency supplies. Does not appear to be printable, which is a shame. I would love to have that container where I could fill it with material. Okay, I did. Sift it. Alright. Let's get a locker made. Work analyzer. Put those pipes in because we're not going to need those pipes anytime soon. I mean, I should have actually used those to kind of make the air conditioners, but c'est la vie. What is in that tank? Nitrogen. Okay. We'll just take you out here because, well, I guess it could count as an emergency supply. And I just realized I need to start cooling that place down. You're still going. don't think I have a spare arc furnace. I think that got destroyed. What did I want to make? Oh yes, the wall cooler. So once that is done, right, let's go set this up. Alright, so this can go into here, as can the cardboard. Wait. Before we move the cardboard box, now we can put this in here. Okay, wall cooler. We will put right there. Alright, and now you can depart. Which has me wondering. I need to change that because I put the wrong radiator type out. No, it needs to be straight, so this would fit on it. Okay. Oh, 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 oh. If only we had a way to get gas into that pipe. So now there is gas in this pipe. The funny part is it's going to radiate a lot of heat back into this room because it's right there. And what I needed to do was grab this. All right, Mr. Trader, what do you got? I just might keep you around. Yeah, I'm keeping you around. We're not set up to trade with you yet. That's an easy fix. All right. Ooh, good point. Good point. I almost forgot. If I do that, I will waste the gas. Alrighty. So we're lowering the temperature. It has no control at the moment, so that's a bit of a problem. But I also feel, given the nature of this being a emergency shelter, not necessarily a bad idea. Another atmospheric kit. We have our two pipes. We have our cable. We have more cable down there as well. Alrighty. So put this back into here. Does this have any gas in it? Not a lot, but yes. Yes, it does. my feeble attempt to get it all cooled down again. Imagine you might still have gas in you. Oh shit, you have the wrong gas in you. Hmm. What about you? Do you have the right gas? You have the wrong gas in you as well. Probably when the filters died. So first, let's remove these. I do kind of hope that we have enough pipe to reach from the volatile point to the sorting system. I do have a backup plan in case that isn't the case, but I'd rather not use that. We do have those turbo vacuum pumps that we can use to just suck all the gas from one side to the other. But we have enough. Volatiles are going in here. Not a lot of volatiles. Quite a bit of nitrogen. Quite a bit of CO2. A lot of oxygen. There's a great point to do what I'm planning. Get the drill. Grab one of these turbo pumps. cutters. Cable. All right, let's suck out all the gas that's on this side of the network. We are getting this place cleaned back up slowly but surely. Which shows that, just because I could have saved scummed it, we didn't. And we survived. And we're getting to the point where we're starting to get back to where we were. All right. Let's see here. You know what? I am kind of curious, actually. This has got all the NOS. Oh, this has got all NOS, water, and pollutant. Okay, our pollutant is no longer condensing. We have got our pressure down low enough that the pollutant is staying pollutant or gas. Our based on this chart, our NOS is still condensing and our water is still condensing. Our pollutant in this section is condensing, so we're actually on the path to have all liquids in that tank. We're not going to reach all liquid. There's going to be head pressure. Yeah, we have close to 600 liters of liquid pollutant. The crazy part is the thermal capacity in that is huge. That can absorb so much heat. Which is funny, figuring it came from so much heat. All right. Let's go check out our hydroponic zone. I don't know why I put that away. All right. Yeah, that's probably the best course of action. So, what do you do when you have trace amounts of pollutant that you're trying to deal with? Or I should say contaminant. It could be water, it could be pollutant, it could be NOS. What do you do if it's a trace amount and you're trying to purify it? And the problem is it's such a trace amount that it's hard to process. Well, currently I'm not growing any plants. This is important. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually suck all the gas out of that area and into this storage tank. And then from that point, I'll reconnect everything where it filters through the system. So all the contaminant will get processed out. So let's open this door up. There cause a bit of chaos. Alrighty. And let's pull up the floor so we can see what we're doing. In fact, I'm actually going to shut you off for now. And do the same to you for now. Alright. So, pink, pink. All right, and then we want to go turn you on. We're gonna suck all the atmosphere out of here. Could get a sheet of glass for that. Sheet of glass. And now it can start processing all that. Volatiles goes up. It should be low enough that it won't auto combust, and it's cold enough it shouldn't auto combust. Eventually, we will recognize that this was part of the problem and create busts so that way we try not to have oxygen, or we shouldn't have volatiles in the system with other things. But it's a little bit easier said than done. And these should go back into here. 11 hours, which is probably more than we will have left in this playthrough. I am curious. We are actually getting water in here, and it's actually not at that horrible of a volume. Because, nice. So we are definitely recovering from our air. All right. What are you looking like? Is every... No, we're not quite completely... Where's the atmosphere coming from here? Why does it appear to go up? Now that we've shut off the AC, which I think might have been where some of that was coming from. Three nine two 391. No busted pipes. Actually, yeah, that's not busted. That's not busted. Right, that room's complete vacuum. Alright, is this room going up or down? Going down. Very, very slow. It's going. Had an airlock, but it got destroyed. I'm not sure why this is having such a fluctuation in pressure. It shouldn't. At least beyond this point, it seems to be fine, which just to kind of help the system out. Everything up to this point is taken care of. Bring the size of the room, and maybe that will help with the calculations. That room is completely processed. What the heck happened here? Because it's all blowing in from this room. Don't know if this is going to help or hurt or whatever. So let's open that up and see if we now get easier gas flow. Let me guess. Yep, that's a problem. Question is, how much gas have I been losing? Oh, technically none have been lost because it all gets collected. Or is it? No, I knew it was coming from the AC. I just didn't understand how. And hopefully that fixed it, and it kind of looks like it did. We're almost there. We're less than a Pascal. Point oh 0.05. Point less than 0.04. Honestly, at that point, I'm okay with it because we have removed the bit that we wanted. Okay. Now, mind you, it's still going to have the water. But there we go. That is how you can always clean easier. Let's open this up. So I'm kind of curious how many. So it did have quite a bit of pressure in there, which is like in the grand scheme of things, that's 800 would blow this room, but that's 800 for 6,000 liters, and each cell is 8,000 liters. And we have a lot more than one cell, so that's not enough pressure to pop everything. But an interesting side effect, and it's a shame we opened this one because that would have boosted it a little bit more, but we want to use this room, is by closing off this half, it means that we don't have to pressurize that half, so we can actually use less gas. So we're down to 12 kilomoles in here. It's still quite a bit. We have 26 kilomoles of carbon dioxide. We only have 17 moles of volatiles, which is pitiful. All right. And we are starting to produce nitrogen and volatiles again. We have a very limited number of stuff that's put into the processor. We only have 270 left. But that should get us quite a ways. Okay. All right. We're not making any more water at the moment, but we're still processing. All right. If I was smart and less lazy, I'd put a condensation valve in. Yeah, I might be able to do that and be lazy. Let's shut you down for now before you lose any more pressure. All right, let's go get a valve. Whee! And this should help drain off the water. Which in effect is part of the thing we were talking about earlier where you can filter it without filters. And right now we're filtering the water without using a filter. This is kind of our proof of concept right here that we have pollutant, we have nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and we're in a state that we can just have the water funnel out through a condensation valve. And as soon as this is empty of water, we'll resume the filtration. In fact, while that one is processing, let's go get more carbon dioxide to help pressurize this room. All right, we still got a decent amount of water. But we could definitely use more CO2. We're under a mole. I really need to eventually write code, turn a turbo pump into a pressure regulator, because pressure regulators just are not fast enough. Just over half a mole. Okay. While you're topping off, I want to check you out. All right, we're up to 800. Mind you, we have volatiles nice and prepared. So we could, like, that would last a bit. We could set up the Stirling engine, the Stirling engine, and the Stirling engine, get this room sealed back up, get the heat exchangers back onto the main network, which is this pipe right here. And then we could fire up the H2 combustor, assuming it's still there. Can we clip through this wall? Yep, it's still there. Uh, all right, we're down to about 2 minutes left before this water is completely sorted out. Which tells us the limitation of the filterless system that I'm trying to design is you're going to have to have a lot of condensation valves, as well as probably a pump to pull. But given it was filters that kind of led to the destruction of this base, I'm kind of like, I kind of really like the idea of not relying on filters. I mean, right there, the app filter is about to die. Alrighty. You don't have any NOS left in you, right? That is affirmative. In fact, you're almost completely pollutantless too. Alright. Let's go eat and drink, and hopefully by then it will be filtered. Air out our stinky selves. Alright, cereal bar just requires flour. A lot of flour, but flour. Cereal chocolate bar. That gives a plus 25. That gives a plus 25. You think there'd be a better thing? Okay, nutrition 30, nutrition 45. So this takes less material and gives better. But chocolate. But it is emergency ration, so we'll stick with cereal bars. Like, this makes me wonder if it just does paralysis that is temporary, or if it just kills you outright. I do find it funny that they have Harvey in here, but not Larry. At least we're down to yellow. All right. Oh, and while we're in here, we might as well turn that on. And it's also funny that the computers are under atmospherics. I never built one of these. Like, to be perfectly honest, by the time I have the infrastructure to build one of these, I already have the electric furnace or the electric centrifuges as set it and forget it. And we're no longer stinky. Hopefully by this point the water is all gone away and we can get back to putting that room to order. Nope, water's almost gone, but not quite. Oh, sad. Turn you back on. At least get the room conditioned. $27. Yep, the remnants of when I had the control wall, everything else got destroyed. Alright. Might as well get it primed and ready for when I do it. I will admit, I am very much looking forward to Europa and the new scenery. Point 0.01 milliliters. That is such a small amount. And it's going quickly, but not fast enough, I'll be honest. This is really making me question whether the filterless system is viable. I think it'd probably be easier to design a cargo Larry that communicates with the printer and just replaces the filters as needed. Unless putting a pump right there makes that much of a difference, which I wished I would have thought about sooner, because now that we're down to such a small trickle, I'm wondering if it's worth it. But you know what? Let's do it. Because the big thing is, if the system's to be viable, when we hook it up, it should like instantly get rid of what's left. Liquid volume pump. Thank you very much. Probably should have checked to see whether there was still water in it first, but where's the rink? Come on, let me interact with that. Why aren't you letting me interact with the pump? That's frustrating. How did we get pollutant in the room already? Well, the pollutant, and this is just frustrating. Nothing busted. Would another one of these pipes burst? Was this just a glitch going on that water is leaking? Let's just be thorough. Let's get rid of this just for the sake of argument. Alright, that's going on. The water should be going down, and it looks like it is, but it's not going down super fast. Oh shit. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, good, good, good. We don't want the nitrous going into our system. What happened here? Destroyed. Due to stuff freezing. Let's fast charge it. That should be good for now. Okay. We're doing much better again. And pollutants are out. That's what we really care about. So come in here. Shoot off. Take a look at you. And the weird part is all the nitrous is gone. There it is. Angle grinder. Okay. Put this guy out. And then we go yoink, yoink, yoink. This time we can watch how fast it goes with the volume pump. And again, I'm kind of saddened by how slowly it is going with a volume pump. Again, this tells me that doing the filterless filter thing with phase change doesn't look like it's going to be practical. Unless the volume turbo pump does a better job, but that's also a lot of power. Well, we'll do it so we know. Not fast enough for my heart's content. Speaking of the filterless filtering, yep, it's not really practical with the way the system's designed. Again, that makes me very sad. Where's the volatiles coming from? this shows you troubleshooting a damaged base can be a lot of work, and sometimes it is easier just to start over. Alrighty. Why is the pollutant going up? You should be filtering off the pollutant. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I'm an idiot. Because I have it wired backwards. Well, I did warn everybody that I had had a long day, and boy, when I said I didn't have a lot of brain power, did not realize how true that statement was. So I feel very foolish that I've been trying to filter it in the wrong direction. Carbon, and then nitrogen. Wait, no. Unfiltered? I was right. Okay, I don't feel so stupid now. It just, right there, that kind of looked like it was on that one. See? This is the, wait, unfiltered. Filtered. So no, I was unfiltered. Filtered. So this should suit the pollution through here. I did have it right. Then why are we getting... Right, that pipe is not broken. And yet when we turn on, Okay, now pollution's going down, but how did we even get pollution here in the first place? Because we had sucked out all the gas. Probably regret doing that in a moment, but did pollution come from here?
Waste tank critical.
Okay, maybe that's where the pollution came from. Yep, alrighty. That's where all the contamination came from. Came from the waste tank. If I leave those on, it will freeze the room out. Interesting, what's the difference in the wreckage? Alright. Let's go check on how our below ground system is going. You still have water in you. Not a lot of water. We're getting there with the CO2. And I guess pollutant would be the next gas to store since it's going to be the next one in volume. Alrighty. Oops, this isn't where I want to go. the next level. I'm being so messy with my cable work right now. Oh, that'd be a good reason why it's not pumping properly. So all these pipes are now empty, which is good because they were all polluted with the wrong gas. So yeah, pollution is still 5% of that tank. We have been removing the oxygen, and we're up to almost 30 kilomoles. Almost 22, or actually over 22 kilomoles of carbon dioxide. So yeah, our base has gotten to the point where, oh, and it looks like the base itself is almost at vacuum. We're at 135 pascals. We have sealed the base up. We have not put in the auxiliary airlock up at the top, uh, which I want to do that before you repressurize the base. One of the sad bits is when this entire room exploded and burned everything. It generated a lot of pollution. And we're going to have to replace most of that. Yeah, we have almost 600 liters of pollution that our base was contaminated with. And mind you, that is the liquid in that amount. We have about 50% of that volume as a gas. So we actually have close to 900 liters worth of pollution. That's a lot. I want to go check over here. How are things going here? Yes, I would like some. Thank you very much. Do we not have power? It looks like just the battery cell for that particular is dead. Yep. Oh, ooh, that, yeah, I left that running. Mars, I believe Venus. Looks like it's almost sunrise. And that tells me we need to address power. That is no longer sufficient. Track. We're going to need gold. Crazy how fast that goes. Alright. Do we have gold? Oh, first off, give me yes. I want more cable. There we go. Gold. Thank you. While that is processing, I want to come to here and shut you off, especially since, oh my goodness, I let it get to -11. Let's make a new battery. Where to put the other battery? And I could put it over here and then jump the cable. Well, we got enough pressure to here. Oh, I don't have a seed chip. Okay, let's go make a seed cartridge. The old seed cartridge got destroyed, and I forgot about that. All right, we'll come back for that. All right, 78, not bad. Breathing efficiency is actually 107. Oh my goodness. Ideal temperature, we're in a good temperature range. Pressure, we're not at a good pressure. Oh, I feel really dumb. I jumped the gun. We don't have a grow light. Grow light. it is. There's the pressure regulator to make sure we don't get too pressurized in that base. Not that it's too big of a concern. All right. There we go. So currently we have our base lit up without me needing to have to worry about backlight. You are thriving in darkness. There we go. All right. Now we need to go make ourselves a laptop. Wait. No, we need to make ourselves an IC housing and then a chip because we already have the laptop. Because that's how we control the grow light. Is with IC10. We tell it to turn on for so long and then shut off for so long. I don't know what did half a copper. Let's go see if we can increase the pressure somewhat.
Hunger caution.
Alright, so we're getting much closer to the ideal pressure. I think this will be the last one regardless. How much pollution have we gathered? Only 774. So we're down to 4.9 kilomoles of oxygen, which is really good. We're almost done with the oxygen, which means I should check the filters. Carbon dioxide, which is our biggest gas, we still got 15 kilomoles to go. Pollutant, only 318. All the NOS has been moved over. And it looks at this point like this is in a steady state. I'm really surprised we're not seeing that water move. But it is what it is. Good thing I checked the oxygen. That one's spent. That one's still going. Well, that's getting respectable. So our potato is thriving. Now here comes the better question. How will the soybean? It needs a minimum of 54, as opposed to this one who only needs 36. Let's see if we can find some oxite. That's not oxite, that's nitrice, and that contains NOS. Alright. Gotta keep an eye on the levels because we've got to make sure that the nitrogen and the carbon dioxide stay above a threshold. Luckily, the nitrogen shouldn't actually be affected. It's the carbon dioxide we need to watch. Because the oxide has nitrogen, so that's good. This should also mean that the pressure's climbing, so the soybean should be happy. Oh, as the room equalizes, pressure's dropping. Pressure slowly climbing back up. But the big thing is we now have both soy and potato growing. plant a wheat. We're going to want to start gathering a whole lot of wheat to make cereal bars. Oh, and speaking of things that we can... And now we can air out in here. Alright, we are very close to where we were when everything fell apart. We are now safe in this room again. And when we get time, we will go get our to-do signs and put them in here. We got our 4 current plants thriving. Yay!
Oxygen low.
Like, I don't know what it means by oxygen low. I got plenty of oxygen. I will have to think about how to properly wire this. So my current plan is to just run this cable all the way back to my main. Alright, we're looking for a heavy cable. Thank you. Alrighty. Fence connected to main. Alrighty. But I don't need to do that anymore. We already pressurized it. Oh, and my normal day job. If it was only that easy to take the signs down. Alright, high priority. Gas systems, not a temporary one, a more permanent one. Medium priorities. Supplies for shelter. Lurie. And why I am currently thinking about it, I need to make a battery for this guy. Alright, we're gonna need more copper. Elevator at full speed is so crazy. You know what? I'm going to take the opportunity while we are. There we go. And now we are able to recover that without it melting. So you know what? We've been working on restoring the base for roughly 6 hours to get it to where we're at after it blew up. And I actually have to say, I'm not too disappointed with how we were able to get it back up. Like, yes, we still need to do the gas storage system better. We still need to get the Stirling engine up and running. But we went from, oh crap, I don't think I'm going to live, to, hey, look at that. We're back to being functional again. Screw it like that. We have plenty of water. I mean, granted, the water has dropped significantly. It is now at 104 as opposed to 120 something. But we've also been composting all this stuff, which is where most of the water has been going. We're down to 141 thanks to process. We have almost finished getting our base back to vacuum. With the way it's fluctuating, I don't know if there's a burst pipe or if it's just because everything's flowing that way, which based on what I'm seeing here, nope, it's just because everything's flowing this way. Yeah, there's 1 megapascal left to process. 3.33 kilomoles of oxygen, 11.3 kilomoles of carbon dioxide, 8.35 of nitrogen. We even have this, which, yeah, even the liquid, it's still doing its thing. And yeah, here's some oxide right here and up there. So once we're done cleaning the air, we can real easy mine some stuff and repressurize the base. You're slowly going up. Although with it slowly going up, that tells me we might want to invest in more power. Because those two will probably never actually empty unless I empty. Because if you looked, they did not have any ore to process. It's because I only have the 3 deep miners. I need to make a 4th one for those last 2 to be worth running. Alright. So on Europa, I'm actually going to do this a different direction. Because this one, I had my deep miners first. And then the process goes this way. Because I didn't know what was going to be involved, to be honest. I had an idea, but I didn't realize what space it would take. Now I'm going to flip it around. So when we do Europa, you're going to open it up, and there's going to be a room that takes you to the advanced furnace right away. Then behind the advanced furnace, you're going to have a vending machine that has all the ores or the ingots to be processed, and a few ores, like there is no cobalt ingot. So there'll be degassed cobalt in that one. And then you'll have another advanced furnace that degasses, which granted, it's all going to be coming from deep mining, but I might buy it from a trader, so I want to have the ability to degas and turn it into ingots, and then it can get put in this, I might put silos in between. I'm still debating on putting silos in between. I think I probably should. So, ingot vending machine, silos for ingots, and then you'll have the advanced furnace for ingots, and then this setup. Because here's the vending machine for ingot or for ores. It's even got a chip that makes sure that it has ores for traders. Boy, am I feeling the tired. Question I'm debating on. Do I want to set up to capture this water and this oxygen, or am I comfortable enough to let this guy go? I'm going to let him go because we're not set up to process that stuff right now. And he'll be back. So, surprisingly, 182 days without dying. We have had multiple explosions, including a massive one that I was at the center of. How I survived that explosion, I still do not fully understand. None of the battery, like all but one battery, did not survive. This got damaged. My suit got damaged, but I survived. Because the explosion, as can be seen, was about right here. And it exploded into a tank, that exploded into a tank, that exploded into a tank, and just wiped out every tank I had. Why I was right here. So yeah, I do not know how I survived the explosion. I'm very thankful this tank survived, because this tank is our fuel tank to run our H2 combustor. So once we get the Stirling engines back up and rewired So that way, because originally I had this be its own room, the damage was so bad it took out this wall. But we had a corridor, an airlock right here. We had even more radiators up in this square. And this was all attached to the exterior cooling. And what happened is, once this room reached 100 degrees Celsius, it shut off the H2 combustor. When it dropped below a certain point, it turned it back on. And you had 1 Stirling generator, 2 Stirling generator, 3 Stirling generators in series that brought the temperature down, and then the gas would enter the sorting system. I'm still debating on how to rearrange the tanks. I do know I am not going to butt them up against each other like I had before. The big question I have is, do I want 1 frame between them or 2 frames between them? Because I'm even tempted just enclose them in complete frame and have the digital readout displayed on displays on the exterior wall. So have a sign that says oxygen, and then have the pressure and temperature and oxygen ratio. Because when we look at it, that's kind of the thing we want to see. We want to see the pressure, we want to see the temperature, and the ratio. In this case, it's 100%, and it should be 100%. But if it ever says anything other than 100%, you know something went wrong. I might even have it display the amount of kilomoles if that is all possible. Let's see here. Insulated big tank. Total moles, right there. So, we can have read the pressure, temperature, total moles, and then for each gas, the ratio of, like, where is it? Ratio nitrous. No, we want the ratio of, that's liquid carbon dioxide. That's, here we go. Ratio carbon dioxide. So it would display 12.7, 31.1, 130.1 kilomoles. So I think if I enclose these, that if they did by chance explode, or something exploded near them, it wouldn't take them out. Which that's what happened, is something exploded next to them and it took it out, and when that one exploded, it took out everything else. The other bit is I'll have a pipe coming off of it, and we'll have a back pressure regulator set to 55 megapascals. So if this ever does start to get to the point of overpressurizing, it will vent out. But we'll head back to the hydroponics bay, and we'll have a small discussion before we end the stream tonight, because it is late, I've had a long day, and I am feeling it. I think anyone who's watched the full stream can tell that I've made a lot of stupid decisions. Particularly over here with the filtration, because my brain wasn't in the right spot. Ooh. We already have 3 potatoes. We want the seed, but everything's growing nicely. The temperature is nice. So, next time we play, we will work on setting up the gas system. So, setting up a large tank for each gas, putting it inside a frame network, having the data come out and be displayed onto the display, so we don't actually have to interact with the tank to know what's going on. If we have time after that, we will make the supplies to fill the shelter, because we are very thankful that this protected everything that was in it, because otherwise we would have starved to death. We were able to make a temporary water system, but there's no real way to do temporary food unless you're lucky with traders, which we were not. So I will make a bunch of cereal bars, put them in boxes, and put it in the emergency shelter. We'll also make a bunch of water bottles and a water fill. We'll basically make a portable tank, fill it full of water, and have a water bottle filler with 2 water bottles in the emergency shelter. That's kind of the plan. We also need to make a tool belt full of tools, and a mining belt full of tools, just in case anything happens. If we have time after that, rework this and put Larry's in here and actually get it where our farm is managed by a Larry. So we can also discuss some of the future plans for Europa, because I want to do Europa next. It will be a very similar base design to this one, but it will of course have to be different because Europa has an atmosphere, it's got less solar, and I want to actually have my atmospheric landing pad underground, where we're going to have to use the landing beacons to guide the ship into the docking bay from the surface. Never done that before. I think it'll be fun to do. After Europa, I want to do a pure space run, not asteroid belt. Pure space run where it forces you to trade for everything. Or deep miners will not help you. You just have to set up trade, set up hydroponics, trade your plants for money, and then process stuff into other things to sell it for money and work the entire thing that way. I think it will be a unique challenge for me. I've never done a pure economy run on Stationeers. Most of the time, I set up a deep miner and then just build from there. After space, we'll go mess with Vulcan, and then after Vulcan, we will tackle Venus on hardcore. So, I hope you had a good night and enjoyed the stream. Let's go raid someone. Let's see here, stream manager. Go raid my friend Creative.